Hi, my name's Matt, and I just want to talk to you a little bit today about the issue of coronavirus and how it affects people who are homeless. And I want to do that because we've had loads and loads of people contact us worried about the effect of the virus on really vulnerable people who are homeless, either on the streets or homeless in other ways. And people are right to be very worried. And the reason for that is that homelessness is dangerous enough as it stands. People living on the streets and in other forms of homelessness are already at severe risk of the elements, of physical attack and all of the horrors that homelessness can bring. But the pandemic brings a new danger, and that is that not only are people exposed to the elements and therefore can't protect themselves and self-isolate in their own accommodation and follow the government advice, but also we know that people who are homeless are far more likely, 3 times more likely in fact, to have acute respiratory problems, which means that the impact of the virus, should they get it, could be more deadly. So that means we need a new response and to do something extra special that's never been done before. So together with governments in England, Scotland and Wales, and with our partners across the charity sector and in local government, what we're trying to do is get every single person who is either on the streets or staying in a night shelter or a hostel where they might have to share common airspace, as it's called, with other people, out of that situation and into a hotel or some other form of housing or accommodation where they can be on their own and away from the danger of the coronavirus. The good news is that this is working. There are around about 4,000 people who have been moved into hotels and others into everyday flats and other forms of accommodation. So that's great, and it definitely is saving people's lives, and we couldn't do this without a kind of spirit of togetherness across all of the different people in the charity sector and elsewhere. But we need to go further. It's absolutely sure that we're in a race against time to make sure that every single person that needs this help gets it as quickly as possible. The government in England wrote to all local councils towards the end of last week and said they wanted to get everyone off the streets by the weekend. And we didn't quite manage that. There are still plenty of people out there needing help. And so that's really where you come in. And we have been asking our supporters to join our In This Together campaign so that we can provide help to people that we serve in our crisis skylights up and down the country. They're still open. We're still seeing some people face to face where it's safe to do so. And behind the scenes, we're working to make sure that we're keeping everyone who is in a hotel or in some other form of accommodation in touch. We're bringing food to people. We're making sure that their lives are on track, and ideally that they don't go back to homelessness afterwards. And we're also providing financial help to organisations, local organisations up and down the country, so that they can provide their crucial services on a continued basis. So that means providing help to people who need protective equipment so they can go and find people on the streets in a safe way. It means providing food for people and all sorts of other things like helping meet the costs of rent. And we simply couldn't do this without the support of our supporters. And I guess the other thing that's really important is that the government doesn't stop at simply providing hotel rooms for people. We also need to stop the causes of homelessness, because of course there are still people at acute risk of homelessness right now, and we know there are thousands of people waiting for their universal credit to be claimed to be processed. We know there are people worried about losing their home and their job. And lots of businesses are going under up and down the country. So we need the government to be vigilant on that, and we're working with them to promote all the solutions that are necessary so that we don't end up in a situation where more and more people need this hotel accommodation. So thank you to everyone that's taken part in the campaign so far, and we'll be in touch with more actions for you and more things you can do in the near future. Thank you.